TAFs differ from METARs because they describe the forecast conditions at an aerodrome. And they typically cover a period ranging from 9 to 30 hours. 9-hour TAFs, or short TAFs, are usually issued every 3 hours, while 12 to 30-hour TAFs, known as long TAFs, are issued every 6 hours. The TAF is issued separately from the meter, but since many of the codes and groups in a meter are also used in the TAF, we will focus only on the main differences in this lesson. Displayed here are several examples of TAFs for various aerodromes. The first obvious difference you'll notice is that the report identifier is TAF, not meter dot. The ICAO location indicator for the airfield issuing the report remains the same as that used for the meter. Once again, we'll use Oxford Airport as our example. Remember, a meter provides an indication of the weather at one specific moment in time. However, because a TAF aims to provide a forecast over a duration, the TAF will include a different time group compared to a meter. The first of these is the time of issue. This shows the date first, followed by the time in hours and minutes in Zulu. So, our example TAF was issued on the 13th at 0600 Zulu. Next up in a TAF, we have the validity time. This is an 8-digit group split into two distinct parts. The first 4 digits represent the start time of the validity period, and the second 4 digits represent the end time. Represent the end of the validity period. So, looking at our example, the validity period begins on the 13th at 0700 Zulu and wraps up on the 13th at 1600 Zulu. This gives us a solid 9-hour TAF. Decoding the wind works exactly like a meter, and as you can see in our example, we have a mean wind direction of 310 degrees true at 15 knots. Visibility in a TAF follows the same standard coding rules as a meter, with the key difference being that only the prevailing visibility is reported. In this specific case, our prevailing visibility is 8,000 meters. The weather coding for the TAF is identical to a meter, and we've included this table to help refresh your memory. However, cloud coding does differ slightly from the meter format. If there's no cumulonimbus, towering cumulus, or no clouds forecast below 5,000 feet or the minimum sector altitude, and neither CAVOC nor SKC apply, then the code NSC is used. That stands for no significant cloud. Another key distinction is that only cumulonimbus clouds are reported in TAFs, whereas METARs include reports for both towering cumulus and cumulonimbus clouds. The primary TAF information concludes right after the cloud group. You might recall that METARs often contain plenty of additional information following the cloud groups, as shown here. TAFs, however, do not have any temperature and dew point, UNH, recent weather, wind shear, or runway state information. Only significant changes of weather follow the cloud group. We will now look at how the significant weather changes are coded within the TAF period. The first change indicator is FM, meaning Brom. This is followed by a 6-digit time group. The first 2 digits are the date, and the remaining 4 digits are the time in hours and minutes. This means that from the 13th at 12:20 Zulu, certain weather changes will occur. This weather change forecast supersedes the corresponding forecast prior to this period. In this example, from the 13th at 12:20 Zulu till the end of the TAF period, the wind will change to be 270 degrees true at 17 knots with a minimum visibility of 4,000 meters. And some broken cloud at 1,000 feet. This is just one type of weather change indicator that can be used. If the change cannot be accurately forecast to the hour and minute, then another code is used. The change group, becoming followed by an 8-figure time group, indicates the expected start period of a permanent change in the forecast conditions. These may be regular or irregular starting at an unspecified time within the period given. By the end of the time period given, the change should have occurred and the conditions suggested would now prevail. Let's dive into an example together. The codes you see displayed on your screen indicate that on the 13th, during the window between 0900 Zulu and 1100 Zulu, the visibility is forecast to permanently transition to 5,000 meters due to light rain. Now, notice that the wind information remains unchanged. It will continue to be from 310 degrees true at 15 knots. Next, let's look at the other change indicator, tempo, which stands for temporarily. This functions quite differently from the becoming change indicator. Because this change may occur at any time within the specified period, it is important to remember that it does not represent a permanent shift in conditions. These temporary fluctuations are expected to last less than an hour each time and in total should not exceed half of the specified time period. Let's walk through the example on your screen. Between 1200 Zulu and 1400 Zulu on the 13th, the visibility will drop to 4,000 meters, accompanied by thunderstorms and moderate rain. We are also looking at 5 to 7 octaves of cumulonimbus clouds at 1,000 feet. However, after 1400 Zulu, the weather will return to the base conditions specified here. A probability indicator is often used to assess the likelihood of occurrence identified by the code prob. This is expressed as a percentage, specifically 30% if the probability is considered low, or 40%. Consider what happens when there is a high probability of the weather unfolding exactly as forecast. You'll find that probability can be followed by a time group, as shown here, or by key indicators like becoming or temporarily. There is just one final concept we need to cover before we wrap up this lesson. When a TAF requires an update, the amended forecast is clearly indicated by inserting AMD right after the TAF identifier, as you can see here. I truly hope this lesson has empowered you to decode TAF messages with complete confidence. Always remember, a TAF is a forecast of expected conditions and is an absolutely essential part of your meteorological briefing before you head out on any flight. By mastering TAFs, you'll be in a much stronger position to make accurate, informed decisions regarding your flight and the weather you can expect at the aerodrome you are visiting. Thank you so much for joining me today.